You're watching the Red Zone Sports Show on Fox 5.
It's been a season where fans can see progress and a program that's ready to turn the corner. Straight ahead in the Red Zone, we look back at the first 7 games and break down where the turning points were and how the Rebels have made strides on both sides of the ball. Head coach Tony Sanchez is in studio to break it all down. Plus, a look ahead to Saturday's home game against Boise State. How can the Rebels deliver more treats than tricks? And the Runnin' Rebels introduce themselves to fans in style. All of the festivities from the Downtown Madness event. There's no bye week in the Red Zone. We're ready to fire it up right now.
This is the Fox 5 Red Zone Sports Show, presented by RC Willey. Your home, your way.
Good evening. Welcome inside the Red Zone. Thanks for dropping in. Kevin Bulliner alongside UNLV head football coach Tony Sanchez. You had the bye week this week. I know you started preparation for Boise State, but some other work had to be done as well.
Yeah, no doubt. We went in Sunday and started working on it and had a good Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And Thursday after practice, we kicked the majority of the staff out. And then the rest of us hit the road on Friday. So we scattered around a bunch of different states and got a lot of work in. And obviously you can always do your local recruiting here throughout the season, so that's easy to do. But that opportunity to get out and go to a bunch of different places and go after some real needed targets. So it was a productive week, good week.
Something that'll pay dividends here down the road.
No doubt about it.
All right, Coach, we're going to start looking at a recap of the season. We're going to begin with the first 4 non-conference games.
It's not about our opponent. It never has been and it never will be. It's about you.
All day, baby. All day, Sonny. Make plays all day.
We are more than prepared for the mission that we're about to take on right now. You hear me, guys?
Start fast, guys. Start fast with details.
The season opened in DeKalb as the Rebels took on Northern Illinois out of the MAC, and there were early signs that this season would be different. Right out of the gate, the Rebels offense clicked. First possession of the year, and it's capped by Blake Decker going up top to Devontae Boyd for the 64-yard touchdown pass. The Rebels used a platoon at QB for a few series, and Kurt Palandek paid dividends with an 18-yard touchdown run. The defense also displayed that things were turning around as they held the Huskies in check for much of the half, and the Rebels went into the locker room up 17-10. But UNLV got outscored 28-13 in the second half, and they couldn't make the late rally as they fell 38-30. The home opener came in front of a raucous crowd of more than 31,000 at Sam Boyd as UCLA rolled into town. The Rebels' D was stingy and caused all kinds of problems for Bruin phenom quarterback Josh Rosen, actually holding UCLA scoreless in their final 5 possessions of the first half. Decker went down with a non-contact injury and did not return. Palandek made a poor decision and had a ball picked off by Kenny Young, returned for a touchdown. That made it a 17-0 halftime deficit. The Bruins came out and scored on 4 of their first 5 possessions in the second half, and the Rebels fell 37-3. The schedule didn't get any easier as UNLV made the trip to the Big House to take on Michigan. The Wolverines dominated the first 30 minutes, but the Rebels turned a corner in the second half that would build confidence and show what was to come in the next weeks. The defense locked down and stifled Michigan, holding them to only 7 second-half points, and the offense got the ball in the end zone as Decker hit Boyd for a 6-yard score, the last touchdown that Michigan would give up for 3 weeks. UNLV lost 28-7, but walked away knowing that things were going to get better, and that they did. Idaho State came into town and didn't know what hit them as UNLV let out the frustrations of the first 3 losses on the Bengals. UNLV scored 35 first-quarter points, 52 in the first half, and 11 touchdowns in the game, all school records, as they rolled to an 80-8 victory that saw excellence in all 3 phases of the game. Defensively, the Rebels forced 6 turnovers, including 4 interceptions, and by week 4 had more interceptions than they did all of last year. The offense rolled up 626 total yards with 517 coming on the ground. It was UNLV's first win of the season and the first collegiate victory as a head coach for Tony Sanchez, who got a bath on the sidelines and led a raucous group in the locker room afterwards.
How about them Rebs?
Fans weren't really knowing what to expect with this team coming into the season, but I think that Northern Illinois game kind of gave a glimpse of what we were going to see with the Rebels.
Yeah, obviously we knew coming in it was going to be a tough preseason schedule, and we knew that it was going to be hard to fight for wins in those games. But our kids came out and they played fantastic. They did a really good job of competing at a high level, never let anything get embarrassing or get out of the way, and they hung in those games. And and then they had the climax at the end of the year against Idaho State, which we played real well in all three phases. But again, for this group coming in with the guys that we had that weren't on the field to start the season, with Decker going down early in that UCLA game and Kurt stepping in, and we saw a lot of guys step up and do things that people don't think we were capable of, and it gave our guys a lot of confidence that this is we know we're in the middle of a turnaround, but at the same time we can do this a lot faster than people think.
I know depth was a concern with this team coming in, and I think on the defensive side of the ball, it showed in the UCLA game in the second half where they wore down a little bit. But the Idaho State game, you were able to get players a lot of playing time, and I think that's something maybe that's going to pay a little bit of dividends here as we move through the second half.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Again, you open up with a team like Northern Illinois that's won, I think the 6 most games in college football, and then you have a ranked UCLA team and then Michigan team, and depth's going to be there, and it's going to be there for a while until we can recruit it, at a higher level and add more depth in all those positions. The Idaho State game, we were able to jump on and score a bunch of points, get more guys in, get guys fresh, but that's not going to be the norm throughout the rest of the season. So we're going to have to learn to just toughen up and do it how we got to do it.
How much did the second half of the Michigan game boost this team's confidence that they could hang with any team that they go up against?
Well, again, it was a big confidence level, but on all those games, the Northern Illinois game, you saw that we played a great first half, and then we kind of let it get away, but then we came back at the end and we had an opportunity, that boosted the confidence. We didn't like the result. You look at the UCLA game and our defense, it's a 10-point game at half without that, decision, and then all of a sudden it's 17. But even having said that, we fought hard in that game, boosted confidence. And then you go in the Michigan game and, again, you're boosting confidence, but you want to win. And throughout the entire process, our kids never lost sight of, hey, it's not about boosting our confidence. It's not about being close. It's about winning games. So, again, we have a long way to go, and we've lost some close ones this year. But our guys, there's a great understanding that there's wins out there, and we just need to focus on the process day in and day out.
Well, all the confidence boosting led right into conference play, and things started off with a bang, or should I say a boom of the cannon.
Today's about making plays. Today's about shutting people up, not by talking, but by the way we play.
Yeah, baby, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Hey. Jump. Right from the jump. Right from the jump.
Hey, it's been a long bunch of weeks. We've been in a lot of emotional games, and you have to go do it again.
The Mountain West season started in Reno, where a message was sent early that UNR was facing a new Rebel bunch. Keith Wiley got UNLV on the board with a 37-yard touchdown run. And after Decker went down with another injury, Hallendeck raced to the corner of the end zone as the Rebels rolled into the locker room with a 13-0 lead, and the Reno fans booed their team off the field. The key play of the game came on defense as Ryan McAleenan picked off Tyler Stewart and took off the other way for a pick six covering 52 yards. UNLV won the cannon back to set off a celebration that included a full sprint hurdle and a whole lot of dancing in the locker room. The Rebels return home to take on San Jose State and once again jumped out to an early lead, but would end up in a seesaw affair against the Spartans. Nico Bornan hit a 49-yard field goal late in the fourth quarter to send this game into overtime. But after keeping running back Tyler Irvin in check all game, Irvin took over in extra time and led San Jose State to a 33-27 overtime win. The last game before the bye was a Friday night special in Fresno, and once again, UNLV had a lead and appeared to be in control with a 14-point second-half cushion after this touchdown pass from Hallendeck to Boyd. The Bulldogs rallied and rattled off 17 unanswered points to take the lead. With the ball and a chance to tie or win, the skies opened up just as UNLV started their final series, and there would be no last-second magic as Fresno State held on for a 31-28 victory, taking the Rebels into the bye week 1-2 in the conference and 2-5 overall.
The win at UNR was a season definer, and at that point, I think everybody realized there was a lot more to play for than just winning the Cannon back.
Yeah, no doubt. We had talked about that from the beginning of the year with our guys. We felt like competitively we could hang with a lot of these teams in our conference. Really all these teams. And you saw that. It was a big emotional win against a good Reno team. Coach Polian's done a good job. They're a team that goes to bowls year in and year out. And so that was big to get that Cannon back and bring it back to Vegas. And big confidence booster for our guys and for our seniors. They get their name on that plaque right there in Rebel Park. And that's a big deal to be there forever, And then after that, you have 2 tough games, and the San Jose game disappointing. They're a good football team. We had our opportunities to win that game. We showed a lot of grit the way we came back, sent it into overtime, and real disappointed in the way we finished it. But, again, good team. And then you have the real disappointing one at Fresno. Then that's one that's just tough to chew on. We really felt like we let that one get away. But, again, we're competing week in and week out. At some point, if we just stay the course, we keep competing, keep working at a high level, those will turn into wins, And, again, this is part of the whole evolution and the building process and the mindset of our program right now and where we've been and where we're going. So our guys are fighters. We just got to keep them going.
At the midway point of the season here, is this team where you expected it to be, and what maybe one change needs to be made to switch those L's into W's?
Well, one of the biggest things is, through the first bunch of games, quarterback, it's been tough. Decker's gone down twice in games. I mean, we haven't won a game yet that he's played it down in the second half, So real inconsistent, not blaming anybody there. But, when you have those injuries that are unforeseen and then a two's got to go in, we got to keep him healthy, and both of those have been non-contact injuries, both of him hitting the turf. So we got to keep him healthy, keep him in games, continue to evolve and, and get Kurt going. So I think that position's really got to be more stable for us, as we go in and out. And then we have to do a better job in the passing game. We've run the ball well. There's multiple weeks we've been in the top 20 in the nation in rushing. We've got to be more consistent in passing game. And then defensively, we've done really well, but it seems like we've had those lulls in quarters. We've given up big plays at the end. And again, that's just mindset and continuing to create turnovers. So there's a lot of room for improvement. There's been a lot of growth. There's still a lot more room to grow.
Well, the past is done. It is time to look ahead right now. And next in the Red Zone, we preview Saturday's Halloween home tilt against Boise State. Decker's back at QB, but is the key on the defensive side of the ball? We break it down in 2 minutes.
You're watching the Fox 5 Red Zone Sports Show, presented by R.C. Willey. Your home, your way.
Make sure to bring the kids out to Saturday's Halloween game against Boise State, because before the 12:30 kickoff, it is Sam Boyd Scary. There's going to be trick-or-treating, pumpkin painting, costume contest, lots of prizes. A great way to kick off the holiday. All the action beginning at 11 a.m. in the Rebel Block Party area. The first 300 kids will get the trick-or-treat bag when they're out there at the game, and then the first 5,000 fans at the game get a nice hat. There you go, Coach. Something to wear on the sidelines.
It's a good hat. Yeah, I like that.
It is a good-looking hat. We're hoping for a good-looking game out there as well, and it is a big one as Boise State comes into town, and this one is one that a lot of fans have been looking forward to.
Boise State brings a lot of firepower to Sam Boyd Stadium, but are still in recovery mode after losing a crucial game at Utah State. The Broncos took out their aggressions on Wyoming yesterday, and with the Aggies losing to San Diego State, they're right back in the thick of things in the Mountain Division. True freshman quarterback Brett Rippon has been riding the roller coaster since becoming the starter, leading the Broncos to some blowout wins and committing 5 turnovers in the first half in that blowout loss to Utah State. He does have some weapons to throw to, including junior Thomas Spurbeck, who is racking up receptions, yards, and touchdown passes. Boise has some strength and experience on the line on both sides of the ball. Defensively, that depth on the line has anchored the D, and safety Darian Thompson has put up some big numbers in the backfield with the most interceptions in Mountain West history. Since these teams haven't played each other since 2012, and with new coaching staffs in place for both teams, Thompson says film will be the key.
Going up against a team like UNLV that we haven't played last year, we'll just have to rely on the film. The film doesn't lie to us. We'll watch a lot of film on them, and hopefully we'll be as prepared as we can be for the game.
Strange things happen on Halloween, and anything can happen in Las Vegas. Don't think the date, the matchup, and the location isn't lost on the Broncos.
We've got a new staff. We're playing in Halloween in Vegas. Yeah, there's going to be something, right?
Rebel fans certainly hoping for that. Now, you already announced on the Red Zone last week that Blake Decker goes back into the starting role at quarterback. Will we see Palandek in a rotation situation like we saw in the first few games?
There's a good possibility you'll see that. Again, it won't be a 50-50 rotation, but we're definitely doing some things for Kurt and his skill sets that will allow us to kind of take advantage of the things that he does well. So don't be surprised to see him in the game.
When we looked at the Utah State film against Boise State and they created all kind of havoc, it really comes down to the defensive line for UNLV maybe creating some turmoil there to try and get some turnovers.
Yeah, we got to put a bigger emphasis on creating a pass rush when we're only bringing 4. You know, you don't want to have to bring pressure all the time. And, you know, you look at that game and they had 8 turnovers in that game. And, you know, anytime you have such a drastic amount of turnovers, there's going to be an overemphasis. And you saw it this last game against Wyoming. They did a really good job of holding on to the ball. So I'm sure they've addressed that. But that's our job. You know, I mean, if we're going to have a chance to beat a great team like Boise, then we're going to have to create some turnovers. We're going to have some big plays. It's not going to be, you can't just be real methodical about it. You're going to have to, you know, think outside the box a little bit to beat a team like this.
12:30 kickoff. We hope people get out to the game for that one. And with November looming, basketball season right around the corner as well. Straight ahead, we'll give you an inside look at Thursday's Running Rebel Madness downtown. Find out what electrified the crowd. Oh, as the Red Zone rolls on.
This hair-raising play of the week is brought to you by Vegas Valley Hair.
The play of the first half of the season, of course, it's in Reno. Second half, UNLV clinging to a lead. Ryan McEleenan picks off Tyler Stewart, and he's headed the other way for a pick 6 that helped secure a Rebel win and brought the Cannon back to Las Vegas. It's this week's hair-raising play of the week.
You're watching the Fox 5 Red Zone Sports Show, presented by R.C. Willey. Your home, your way.
It is time to hoop it up at the Thomas & Mack. The Running Rebels open the season with an exhibition game coming up a week from Friday, but it all started with an event downtown that created a whole lot of buzz.
And now, your Running Rebels.
Talk about starting the season in style. An outdoor venue, downtown Las Vegas, and a Running Rebel team that already has people on the edge of their seats. This was a night for the fans.
It's crazy. Being out here with all the fans and stuff is amazing. And it's like a little taste of what we're going to feel like during the season and stuff, so it's great.
The Running Rebels have always been special to Las Vegas. We thought it was appropriate to come downtown and spend time with fans. We've been working extremely hard in practice. This was a fun night with great fans, and it was terrific. We had a great time.
There were fireworks, the Rebel girls, even assistant Max Good got his groove on. The depth was shown as freshman Austin Starr won the three-point contest. But the dunk contest stole the show, specifically this dunk by Derek Jones over 3 teammates. For Jones, this was fantasy becoming reality.
This is my dream, being in college and being able to play at a high level and then possibly go to the next level with the NBA. It's just great just being out here with my teammates. We work hard every day. It's just an honor just being able to play every day.
The hope is to keep the buzz going for the next several months, beginning with the exhibition opener against Whittier, straight on through Maui, Arizona, Wichita, and all of the Mountain West.
It's what you dream of, being able to play for such a high-level school and such a talented team. So we're just willing to work hard for each other and do whatever coaches say so we can have a successful season.
For one night, the intensity of the season was left in the gym. This was an outdoor party to celebrate the season ahead.
Rebel fans are the best fans in the world, and we just wanted to come out and have fun and show them what to expect for the next year.
Meanwhile, the Lady Rebels are getting ready for the season as well. On Saturday at the Mendenhall Center, Kathy Olivier and her team were on display for the fans. 7 players returned from last year's team, but UNLV also brings in some major talent in twin transfers Dakota and Dylan Gonzalez. Just like the men, the ladies have some excitement building.
It's like a buzz. It's a potential buzz. So for us, we still need to learn how to, win some games, 5-6 games in a row, and to have a target on our backs because people don't like the Rebels because we do damage. I just feel like we have a team people are going to love to watch. We have a lot of energy. We go out to the community all the time. We're dying for the community support, and if we get that, I think it's over. I really do.
The Lady Rebels open the season at the Thomas & Mack against Southern Utah on November 14th. We're back to wrap up the Reb Zone with the plays of the first half. Straight ahead.
You're watching the Fox 5 Reb Zone Sports Show, presented by RC Willey. Your home, your way.
Well, if you want an up-close look at the Cannon, it's going to be on at Born and Raised on Wednesday night for your radio show from 6 to 7. That's the Born and Raised in Henderson. So go out and check out Coach and the Cannon as well. Coach, good luck this week.
Thank you.
12:30 kickoff against Boise State on Saturday. The Sam Boyd Scary begins at 11 for the kids. We hope to see you out there. Here are your Rebel plays of the first half. Thanks for joining us in the Reb Zone. Good night.
If you do it right, the training will always be harder than the mission. You hear me on that?
Everybody, let's turn up again. I wanna hear that song. And then I'm gonna fly like Superman. I'm feeling so far gone. So tonight, let's ride. We get one shot to get it right. We get one shot, so hold on tight. We get one shot, so let it ride. We get one shot to live your life. We get one shot to go all night. We get one shot, so let it ride. Chance to make this kickstart. Turn on your light, 'cause we are made of stars, and I wanna let it shine. Everything's gonna be alright. I feel it in my bones, and if it takes all night, I'm bleeding.
The Fox 5 Reb Zone Sports Show was presented by RC Willey. Your home, your